What's up, everybody? This is Brady. Welcome back to the Low Life Podcast. That is a song by a band from Oklahoma City called Harp and Lyre. And if you know who that is, then you're OG. You've been around a minute. They have not been a band for a long time. Band that kind of got me into the scene. The band that one of the first local metalcore bands that I ever got into. They were pretty popular. They toured. They played with some bigger bands. They played a lot of shows, and I just felt like throwing it back this week. So, yep. That's also gonna be my throwback jams for this week. So I'll talk about them more in a little bit. But welcome back, everybody. Uh, just another week. Just gonna get into it. So I wanted to say thanks to everybody who's been listening lately and sharing it. Really appreciate it. Means a lot. Um, so yeah, I guess we're just gonna. Oh, you know what? I gotta do this first. So, don't have any shows to talk about this week. Besides one, I will get into that in a second. But only car related news I have this week is coming up on October 20th. Is the Neon Drift Formula, not Formula Drift, Full Lock Drift is hosting drift event called Neon Drift. It's gonna be like from 12 p.m. till like 10 at night, and like once it starts getting dark, all the cars are gonna put neon on or lights on, anything they can do or get or want to do, whatever, and they're gonna drift in the dark with light like neon. It's gonna be sick. There's gonna be like a prize for best lighting. It's gonna be super fun. Can't wait for that. Definitely be there. Definitely check it out. If you didn't go to Stroud last week, so a week ago, yeah, last Saturday, and if you've never been to one at all, it'll be a lot of fun. So check that one out. And then this week, or really in 2 days, is Bullet for My Valentine at the Diamond Ballroom here in Oklahoma City. I will be there with me and my dad, taking my dad for his birthday. Super stoked because I haven't got to see them before. My dad's never seen them. Get to see We Came as Romans for the first time in like 5 years or 6 years, something like that. Get to see the Bad Omens, which I've heard a lot about. Never got to see them, so super excited for that. That's gonna be dope. And then on Saturday here in the city, in Oklahoma City, is Fall Out Boy in MGK, which I've already kind of talked a little bit about that in some of the earlier podcasts. So that should be fun. Also going with my family on that one. So yeah, I got a bunch of music stuff coming up this week. A little less car stuff. But anyway, so gonna go ahead and jump into my throwback jams this week. So my first one is gonna be Harp and Lyre's self-titled EP. Their first EP they put out came out in 2009. That song I played at the beginning is on that EP. It's called Grizzly Adams Did Have a Beard, and that'll be in the screen when that's playing, so you'll know that. But that's like my favorite song from that EP. I think that was probably the most popular song from the EP. It's just so good, and they had such a unique style. I was really into Harp and Lyre when they came out because they were like one of the first like local bands I think I ever really discovered because I saw their name on stuff all the time, and I was like, who is this band? And it's really cool to find out bands from your town that sound like other bands that you like. Like what? There's bands that sound like that are from where I live. It's really cool. I remember going to like their final shows and their EP releases and all that stuff back in the day, and when they got to open for bigger bands, and just a really throwback jam. Really, I just looked and saw that EP came out in 2009, which makes me feel so old because I was like, holy shit, it's been like 10 years since that album came out. It's nuts. So that's one of my throwback jams for the week. Representing some Oklahoma City old school scene metalcore jams. Check it out. They do have another album that came out after that before they broke up. I never really got into that one, but this EP is where it's at. So check it out, Harp and Lyre. And then my other throwback jam for this week is the Desolation of Eden album by Chelsea Grin. This album has so much like history and like I'm trying to think of the words to like even describe it. It's just it's so like it's like legendary, I guess. I don't know. Like if you talk to people in like the scene who've been around a while, like in their mid 20s, who like used to listen to scene music, like Chelsea Grin was the band to like imitate or try to be back in like 2010. Like I went to I lived in a fairly small town, and there were like at least two or three bands that like wanted to be Chelsea Grin, like in my high school. Like there were a couple bands that were playing literally the same style and like trying to imitate their vocals and their deathcore sound. And Chelsea Grin is just one of those OG bands that's been around, and like this album is just so coveted, so held with like high honor in a way. Like I don't, it sounds stupid, but it really is. Like a couple years ago, I got to see them on tour, and they played this album from front to back, like in order, and it was probably one of the my most favorite shows that I've ever been to. Just getting to hear that full album, it's just so good. If you like deathcore, it feels like super crazy highs and super crazy lows on the vocals, and just blast beats, nasty breakdowns. Definitely listen to this album. It's so good. It's one of those. It's like it hasn't even really aged either. Like it doesn't really sound old. So that's one of my favorite old school heavy deathcore albums. Definitely check that out. And then I got my new jams that I recently discovered or recently came out. So on Friday, the new Fit for a King album came out. It's called Dark Skies. That just came out. Literally just came out Friday. I've already listened to the whole album like twice. It's incredible. It's so good. And the thing I love about Fit for a King is they've never been one of those bands that just flip flopped and like changed their sound out of nowhere or have gotten softer or like we don't want to play as heavy music. No, this album is still just as heavy as the last two, if not almost heavier on some tracks. Like it's so good, and I really really like it a lot. Um, like I said, I've already listened to it like all the way two times. My favorite track right now is "The Price of Agony" because it like starts off kind of light and then just goes into stupid heavy. I mentioned "Backbreaker." I think maybe a couple podcasts ago, and that song I fucking love that song. And then there's a few others on there that are just really really good. And so if you are a fan of Fit for a King, if you're a fan of just really heavy metalcore, then this is your shit. Like it's so good. I was really really impressed with it. Wasn't sure how it was gonna go with Backbreaker. I figured it was gonna stay heavy when they put that out. So yeah, this album's really really good. And then the other band is called a band called Satyr, Satyr, Satyr. And I actually found them not even on like wasn't even looking for music. I was just scrolling through Facebook, and on Facebook it does this weird thing where like um it does this thing where you're when you're scrolling through your videos, like whatever, just looking through videos, it will recommend you like a sponsored video, and mine recommends me music a lot, and it's always like a music video that a band has like sponsored or whatever, so it gets pushed to people. And I found this one. I was like, I'm gonna listen to it, and it was actually really really good. I was really impressed with it, and there's this band sounds so different. Like if somebody asks, like, what is that? Well, who would you compare them to? I don't know if I could. Like they've got their singing kind of sounds like old emo singing from like Silverstein or like Hawthorne Heights or like bands like that era, but then it's got like screaming that kind of sounds dance cap and dancey, and it's kind of got these like jazzy riffy parts, kind of like Chon or like what Dance Gavin Dance would have, but then it's got like really heavy fast stuff, like kind of chaotic stuff. It's kind of all over the place, and it's really cool. I really like it. This EP is called Neutrino. I don't know that they have any other music out. I think they're a fairly new band, but it's really good. They actually have a music video or two music videos out too, so really really worth checking out if you're into just kind of funky like fusions of different genres. It's really cool. I'm into that kind of stuff where like they can cross these genres that you normally wouldn't hear or maybe never heard in that way before. So that's my other new jam to check out for the week. And let's see, moving on from there. Man, I'm out of breath today for some reason. Um, a couple podcasts ago, I talked about Eminem put out a new album called Kamikaze. And on that album, he called out a bunch of people and made a bunch of people mad. And one of those specifically was MGK. And MGK was all talking shit and saying he ain't nothing. And then I don't think I mentioned it, but MGK put out a diss track back to Eminem, pretty much calling him old and weird and all this. It was kind of lame, to be honest. And so since then, everybody's like, "Oh, when's Eminem gonna put out a diss track? When is Eminem gonna get him back? Oh, you better prepare. Eminem's gonna kill you," and all this stuff for like a week. And sure enough, he did. He put out a diss track. I think, even said in an interview that he wasn't going to, but he did, and it's called "Kill Shot." And it's so good. Man, I don't care if you're an MGK fan because he killed him. MGK killed him. Or not MGK. Ooh, what am I saying? Eminem killed MGK. Like, so many slams. Oh, dude, it's just so good. And then he even, like, mentions MGK and G-Eazy's feud that they had over Halsey. And, like, I went to, like, I saw that Eminem posted a picture with G-Eazy on Instagram, like just giving the bird and said, "Let's talk about it." Like another stab at MGK. I just love it. Like MGK. If I hope MGK writes another diss track because he's just gonna get made fun of more because like he's he's so whack. Which is it's funny that I'm sitting here like talking shit on the dude when I'm about to go fucking see him in like 3 days, 4 days, but which only makes it better. But yeah, man, he doesn't stand a chance. He's not as good as Eminem, and he never will be. I don't understand why he thinks that he is, or why he thinks he's some like lyrical rap genius. Because he's really not. His music's okay, but it's not that good. Like I don't know. The dude he's kind of a weird dude. So anyway, I guess we'll see if MGK claps back and throws another diss track back at him, or if anybody else will. I don't know. I don't. I mean, it would only be benefit him. He needs all the attention he can get at this point to benefit his career, I guess. But I guess we'll see. So that's that's what's going on in the music world, I guess. So anyway, nothing else really going on with me. Yesterday went to the Monday meet at the lake. Had a lot of fun at that. Wasn't a huge turnout, but had a lot of fun. Got to see some homies. Got to take some pictures of my car and stuff. I mentioned Slammed Media like a couple podcasts ago. My homie Jeremy, who runs that, was there. Hung out with him. He probably took some shots of my car. You'll see if you follow me on Instagram. Shout out to them. Slam Media is about to update their website and have a bunch of new merch and stickers and stuff on there. So that's really cool. They're doing it. They're doing the thing. And other car news, I had to replace the oil pan on my daily on my Subaru yesterday because somehow I got a hole in the oil pan, which I don't even know how that happens, but it did. And I thought it was just a leak dripping from like the drain bolt, but it was not. So had to replace that. That was not fun, but that's what you got to do to keep your car running. So, and in the process of that, the mechanic fixed something else on my car for free, which is cool because my car was backed into or messed up somehow. And what before I bought it, somebody backed into it or something, and I just I haven't bothered to fix the damage because it's not really that big of a deal, but my hood would never close right. It would like secondary latch, but it wouldn't latch the regular latch, and so like it would kind of wiggle. And somehow the mechanic fixed it. He like added these washers that realigned my hood latch, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I fixed your hood for you." And I was like, "Dude, thank you so much." So sucks. So I don't have to worry about my hood flying open on me or anything like that, because that would suck. So glad I got that fixed. Let's see. Other than that, I don't think I have a whole lot else to talk about. Did want to say thanks to everybody who's been sharing it or been posting it on Facebook or telling their friends. It's kind of crazy to hear all the people that listen to it. Like, I know I don't have a ton of views on it, but obviously I'm not doing it for the views. But seeing that I have friends in other states listen to it and share it and stuff is really cool. I want to shout out my girlfriend and my dad. They're like my biggest supporters. They both listen to it as soon as I post it and always give me solid feedback on it. I really appreciate it. And yeah, man, just gonna keep doing this thing. I've been researching on how to maybe have a guest. Eventually, I'm gonna have to invest in some like new hardware and stuff. Gonna have to get like an interface and some mics or something. So we'll see about that. Hopefully, can get that soon. Maybe get some guests on there. Maybe you guys can throw me some suggestions of people that would be cool, whether it be car related or music related people. I guess we'll see what comes about. Also, wanted to give a shout out to my shitty computer because, unbeknownst to you people listening this, you fine lovely people, this is the second time I had to record this podcast today because earlier before, while editing the podcast, I noticed it had a bunch of little dead spots. So I guess my computer had a hard time running this program along with other programs open at the same time, and so a bunch of the audio was like just dipped out and wasn't recorded or whatever. I don't know. I need to upgrade the to a solid state on my MacBook, so hopefully it will run faster and better. But yeah, so staying up late for you guys so I can get this done. So you better appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I was thinking? We need to have some type of name for the listeners because I hear all these podcasts and they always have like funny names for the listeners. Like I listen to the Lead Singer Syndrome podcast and he calls all of his guys the sinners for like syndrome, sinner. And I thought that was pretty funny. And actually, I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, and Tom Segura, the comedian, they call their podcast listeners the mommies, which is so funny because I don't even know the reference, but it's great. So if you guys have a funny name to call you guys, I could call you the low lifes or something, you low lifers. I don't know. If you guys have something funny, feel free to comment or message me or however you would wish to tell me, because that'd be kind of cool. So just keep supporting me and share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you guys like to share things or tell people about stuff, and just keep doing the damn thing, man. But anyways, this has been the Low Life Podcast. I am Brady, your host. Peace.